Now moving to more specifics, we will be introducing David Schindler, a Canadian limnologist. He was born August 3rd, 1940, in Fargo, North Dakota. And yes, he was born an American, but later he became a Canadian. Essentially, limnology is the study of inland waters, lakes, both freshwater and saline, reservoirs, rivers, streams, wetlands, and groundwater, as ecological systems interacting with their drainage basins and the atmosphere. After getting a PhD at Oxford in 1966, he made a significant contribution to the scientific community. In the 1960s, the Canadian government had recently designated 46 remote Northern Ontario lakes for research. In 1968, Schindler was hired to be the founding director of the Experimental Lakes Area Project. The plan was to do something not done before, large-scale whole lake experiments. The first project was to learn the source of huge algae blooms that had begun plaguing Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. For the experiment, Schindler and his team divided hourglass-shaped Lake 226 with a plastic curtain. Adding various elements to the two halves, they determined that phosphorus, primarily from detergents and sewage treatments, was responsible for the blooms, which scientists call eutrophication. The scientists presented their findings to governments in Canada and the United States, including an aerial picture of Lake 226 taken during the experiment that showed the half of the lake with added phosphorus was murky and green. The other half was clear. Due to this accomplishment as well as many others, Schindler won many awards including the President's Award, Canadian Society for Ecology and Evolution in 2011, the Sanford Fleming Award in 2009, and the Lifetime Achievement Award. David Schindler has definitely contributed a lot to this field and is continuing to contribute. He is currently a professor of ecology in the Department of Biological Sciences at the University of Alberta in Edmonton, Alberta. Jacques Cousteau is another remarkable man that contributed a lot to the scientific community, and we are forever grateful for that. Born on June 11, 1910, Cousteau was a French explorer, naval officer, conservationist, filmmaker, scientist, author, and researcher who studied the sea and all forms of life in it. In the years 1968 to 1976, Cousteau produced his best-known work, the TV documentary series The Undersea World of Jacques Cousteau. This series ran for 8 seasons, describing the undersea adventures he was having and the marine species he was observing. In 1956, Cousteau released his first color movie documentary called, like his early book, The Silent World, and in 1960, his documentary, The Golden Fish, was released. He won 3 movie Oscars for The Silent World, The Golden Fish, and World Without Sun. Throughout his life, Cousteau pioneered scuba gear, underwater base camps, and helped to restrict commercial whaling. Due to this and many other contributions, in 1985, on Cousteau's 75th birthday, President Ronald Reagan presented him with America's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Even though Cousteau is no longer living, his memory and his lifelong work will not be forgotten. By 2048, there will be no more fish in the ocean. Imagine empty oceans, collapsed ecosystems, and extinct species. This is a devastating ending scientists are predicting for our planet in around 30 years. However, our society is fortunate enough to have scientists that work in the field of aquatic ecology doing everything in their power to stop our planet from collapsing. They go through 4 or more years of university, come out to be teachers, researchers, or members of the government, and try to make our planet a better and healthier place to live. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and bye.
Created using Powtoon.